Hello guys, now we'll study class 7th NCERT Our Environment Chapter 7 Human Settlement Transport and Communications. ओके सो इस चैप्टर में हम इंसान के सेटलमेंट कैसे हुए, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कैसे बना, कम्युनिकेशन कैसे डेवलप हुआ, ये सारी चीज़ें को डील करेंगे. तो हमने अपने प्रीवियस क्लासेस में सेटलमेंट के बारे में ऑलरेडी स्टडी कर दिया था कि सेटलमेंट होता क्या है, कैसे सेटलमेंट का फॉर्मेशन हुआ, टाइप्स ऑफ सेटलमेंट क्या होते हैं, ये सारी चीज़ें. नाउ विल स्टडी द ट्रांसपोर्ट. ट्रांसपोर्ट इज़ द मीन्स बाय विच पीपल एंड गुड्स मूव. ओके, सो ट्रांसपोर्ट का बेसिकली मतलब क्या होता है कि ट्रांसपोर्ट एक ऐसा साधन है जिससे लोग एक जगह से दूसरे जगह बेसिकली जा पाते हैं. इन द अर्ली डेज इट टुक अ great deal of a time to travel long distance. Okay, so when there was no motorcycle, when there was no car, when there was no aeroplane, no train, so before introduction of all this means of communication, what was the happening? People were going from one place to another place by walking or by using the bullock cart. So if suppose just imagine if your train is taking the 10 hours to reach to one place to another place, so how much time that distance will take if the people travel by foot or walk? So that was taking the too much long distance. People had to walk and used animals to carry their goods. Invention of the wheel made transport easier. So basically what happened, so slowly when people, at first people were going from one place to another place by walking. Next what happened, when people had they walk. Okay, so they use the animals to carry the goods. Okay, when they use the animals, made the bullock to carry the goods, so basically they start thinking if the goods can be transport from one place to another place by using the animals and the cart, so human being can also be, no. So invention of the wheel made transport easier. So slowly what happened, there was an introduction of a wheel का उस समय तक introduction हो चुका था that timing तक. With the passage of the time different means of transport developed, but even today people use the animal for transport. Okay, so बोला जाता है कि so the time passes. As the time passes, in this story we are talking more back about the 16th century. Okay, now we are living in the 21st century, so how much difference is there? But still in nowadays, if you will see the some rural area or some village part of the India, there are still people use the horse cart as a mode of transport. Reason that are the actually cheaper way of transport. There's no fuel is requirement, there's no human effort is requirement. Okay, in our country donkey, mules, bullocks and camels are common, so all these animals are used as a cart. In the Andes mountain of South American, llamas are used as are ox in Tibet. बोला जाता है कि अगर हम देखते हैं कि जो साउथ अमेरिका, ओके, इफ द साउथ अमेरिका देयर इज़ अ वन माउंटेन दैट इज़ द एंडीज माउंटेन. ओके, व्हाट देयर थिंग्स आर यूजिंग एज अ मीन्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट, दैट आर द llamas. Okay, lamaks are as a yak in Tibet. Or if we talk about the Tibet, there is a yaks. The early traders from the other countries used to take a several months to reach India. So the traders early traders, okay, not like a this time if we are talking back a century, so there were this that time traders were what they used to use, they used to basically use the some kinds of transportation which took the month to reach. Means basically it took the not a single day, not a week, it took the more than month to reach to their destination. Aeroplanes have made travel faster. So when there was an introduction of the aeroplane, that the means of transport was become easy. So but you can see like everything cannot be transported from the aeroplane. Okay, because if you just want to go from just travel a distance 300 kilometer, then using of the aeroplane is not suitable. Now it takes only 6 to 8 hours to travel from India to Europe. So it's talking about the foreign countries, like when there was a means of transportation was available like an aeroplane, and that transportation was using for the other countries like India and European country. Now मॉडर्न मीन्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट द सीव्स द एनर्जी. ओके, बोला जाता है कि जो लाइक ऑल दिस मीन्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट जो डेवलप हुए लाइक एरोप्लेन, रेल, ठीक है, सो ऑल दिस मीन्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट ही saves the human effort and saves the energy also. Now here is a let's do list the different modes of transport used by the student of your class while coming to school is giving. So basically what you have to do, you have to just make a note of the people or the student. Suppose you are studying in a class and there are the student, just you have to note it down their name and the means of transport through which they are coming. Now the four major means of transport are roadways, railways, waterways and airways. So basically what are the four means of transport? This is the important thing. The question always come from this area. There will be question, what are the means of transport and which means of transport are the most used in India? So answer will be, in India we use the most means of transport is the roadways. Okay, so what are the means of transport? That are the roadways, railways, water, airways. Now there are several national and state highway in India. So we all know there are some national and state highway. How, what is the difference between national highway and a state highway? See, if a highway, if a road connect one district to the another district of a same state, that is known as state highway. Okay, but on the same side we will see, if the road connect one state to the another state, that state is known as national highway. Just Agra Mumbai, okay, Delhi Mumbai, all these are the national highways. Now we will study the one by one all the means of transport. At first we will study the roadways. The most commonly used means of transport, especially for the short distance, are roads. Okay, so as we go from any place, especially it takes the 2 hours, 3 hours or 1 hour, just what we use the roadways. They can be metal pakka or unmetal kacha. Okay, so now at present time in India, if we are talking about the respect of India, most of the roads are constructed at the Pakka house under the Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana in a village sector and Pradhan Mantri Sadak Yojana under the urban sector. Now, the plains, just a minute, okay. The plains have a dense network of roads. Roads have also been built in a terrain like desert, forest, even high mountains. So, okay, what it's saying? Like roads are very dense network. Roads have very dense network. Roads are been built near the terrains like desert, forest, even a high mountains also. Manali Leh highway in the Himalayan mountain is one of the highest roadways in the world. Okay, if we talk about the Manali Leh highway, okay, this highway comes when we go from the to the Manali from the Himalayan region. In a Himalayan region, that highway is the world most highest railway. It's not only the India's most highest road, it is also the world highest. But now road built underground are called subway underpath. Okay, the roads which are built under the grounds, that are known as subway or underground. Flyovers are built over a raised structure. So flyovers are basically built by using the raised structure. Now, so we have already completed the first means of transport, that is roadways. So what are the things we saw? We saw here that from which roads ways are created. Okay, the second is what is the kinds of roadways, or that are the state highway, national highway, district highway, all these are there. Now we'll move to the railways. And here one thing is important, in India, which is the highest roadway, which is the highest of the world roadway, that is a Manali Leh. Now we'll move to the railways. The railway carry heavy goods and the people over long distance quickly and cheaply. See what happened when we were talking about the shorter distance, like 1 hour, half an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, max to max 8 hour. Okay, so anybody can go by using the roadway, by using the two wheeler, by using the four wheeler, anything. But suppose it's more than 100 meter, 100 kilometer, not meter. If it is a more than 100 kilometer or 500 kilometer or 1000 kilometer, then there the roadway is will be not suitable. Okay, you need to go by the railways. So now The railways carry heavy goods and the people over a long distance quickly and cheaply. So as you can understand, if we use the car to go from one place to two place, even though that distance is very less, that is a costlier as compared to the railway charges, because railway is a government undertaking unit, and the government always charge a less or the only the maintenance charges. The railways carry heavy goods and people over a long distance quickly and cheaply. So railway always carries the heavy goods. Even there will be transportation of heavy goods. Okay. So basically now here we'll see the railway also charges the cheaply. The invention of the steam engine and the industrial revolution helped in the speedy development of rail transport. So what happened when there was the introduction or invention of a steam engine? Okay, industrial revolution. So it has with the embedded of new or advanced technology, railway system has been improved a lot. Now diesel and electric engine have largely replaced the system of engine. So what happened when we started using the diesel, electric engine, all this has replaced the steam engine. So basically previously when this was diesel and electric engines were not introduced, there was the use of the steam engine. In places, super fast trains have been introduced to make the journey faster. So if you can see, there are some passengers. Okay, so there are some super fast trains. So what is this between the super fast and passenger mostly take the like single line route, and super fast mostly take there is a more than one line. The railway network is well developed over the plain area. So we all know railway network is not developed in any hilly area, line area. It is developed on the plain area. Advanced technology skills have enabled line of railway lines in difficult mountain terrain also. So what is there, if suppose there is a mountain area or terrain area, so with the help of advanced technology, railway lines has been also raised to there also, but these are much fewer in number. So but this is less in number. Indian railways network is well developed. It is the largest in Asia. बोला जाता what it's saying. Okay, here what you have to do, here is a question for you that you have to tell by whom the Indian railway has been introduced, like Britisher has introduced the Indian railway or the Indian government, and in which year. Okay, these two things you have to tell me. Okay, now if we talk about the world, if we talk about the world scenario in the field of railway sector, so Indian railways are one of the most well developed railway, and they are the larger. We all know India is such a diverse and large country, so obviously that will be happen. Now there are the just one do you know kind of statement is given. The train between Zinging and Lasha runs at the altitude of 4000 meter above the sea level, and highest point is 5072 meter. So you can see the what is the height of train which is running in the particular zone. Now we have, see, here is a just one Trans-Siberian Railways, the longest railway system connecting St. Petersburg in the western Russia and Vladivostok on the Pacific coast. Okay, so if the question comes, which is the largest railway line that is of the world or longest railway line of the world, is that answer will be Trans-Siberian. Okay, and to which country it connect the St. Petersburg in western Russia and Vladivostok on the Pacific coast. So basically here, and we understand, we study the two important thing, that is which is the longest railway line of the world, that is Trans-Siberian line, and to which what it connect, it is St. Petersburg and Vladivostok. Now you can just see in the given diagram. So now we have just completed two we are talking about the transportation, and under the transportation we saw the how the human being has developed this transportation by step. So we talk about the basically how in previous, when there was no introduction of airways, railways, roadways, how the people used to manage. So we saw there was a cart system, and after that we saw that basically we follow the four transport means, like roadways, railways, waterways, airways. So we already study about the roadways. Okay, roadways, how they are made up. Okay, okay, and what are the subcategories of all these. Then we study the railways, and slowly we are studying that railways are cheaper than the roadways, and in under the railways we also study the kinds of trains, okay, longest route, okay, and longest line of the world. All this thing we have understood here. So I hope you have understand this and enjoyed a lot. We'll come to the next class with the next topic.